Hello, my online learners. This video is to guide you through the current research discussion. So there is 3 parts to it, A, B, and C, and they're on different weeks. So if we look at it, so I'm looking at Module 8 to start with, and as you scroll down to the bottom, you will see that here is the assignment, or the assessment as we call it. So basically what you're doing is you're doing some research on a current activity to find some valid science behind it. And this all came up with me during COVID, which was 5 years ago now. So some of you probably don't remember much of it. But in COVID, in the time of COVID, a lot of science was coming out, and some of it was good and some of it was not based on true research or true science. So there was a lot of questionable resources. So what this activity is to help you look at resources that current research is based on. And there are 3 parts, part A, B, and C. So if we look at it, I will go through the list of topics later, but basically the list of topics are just some current science topic, or if you don't like a topic there, you can put a current topic too that you may be questioning. Now, what you will do is look at it. Then what I want you to do is some research on the topic. And sadly, a lot of things when you start a research or a Google search will go to Wikipedia, which is good to start with, but please do not cite it. Often on Wikipedia, it will cite the actual resources lower down and you can look at it. Also, often research will put you to BuzzFeed, which is not a solid scientific based one. So when you're looking, you can start in those, but try and find a more reputable source. And one thing is, if you go Google Scholar, that will get you to a better search engine that's more scientific. And then find something that relates to your topic. Ideally, some sort of research paper or a document. TED Talks can work too, because usually a TED Talk is vetted or has some information behind it. So that is the resources that you're looking at. Then what we are going to do is look at your research and summarize it in 2 or 3 paragraphs. So basically your first paragraph will be why you chose the topic and an introduction to your topic. Then the middle part, summarize the research you found. And then the third paragraph is just a conclusion. Now, I want you to research what's called APA format to show me the reference that you used. And the library support will have a way to break it down. And an APA format is just a certain reference format where you have the last name and the author and the source. So this way it shows that it's a reputable source and I can find it. So that's part A, and I'll show you how to submit part A in a bit after I go through B and C. In part B and C, part B is not due till module 10. So once everything's posted in module 9, I want you to look at conversations that are the topics that other students have posted and reply to their posts. And then you have to do 2 or 3 of them. And I want you to add some information to their topic. You could either agree with it or find a resource that disagrees with it or supports it, whichever you choose. But again, it must be based on some sort of research. So, or some sort of preference, and you can add a personal story to it if you wish, but there must be something and it must complete and develop the conversation. Then you have part C. Now, part C is another week, will be due at the end of module 11. And in part C, you're going to look at your original topic and respond to 2 of the students who responded on your topic. And if they didn't, quite often as you think about or look about a topic, think about it more, with time, you'll see a different opinion, or you'll see more research to support it. So 2 weeks later, if the student hasn't replied, first off, you reply to student if they did reply. And if they didn't reply, this is where you reflect on either further research you found or a personal story that will strengthen your original response. Okay, how to add the submission. So when you go to the left-hand toolbar, at the bottom of the left-hand toolbar, there is something that says Group Discussion Board, and you click on that. Then Group Discussion Assignment. And when you have it up here, it says Create Thread. So when you start for part A, you'll create your thread. Then once it opens, you put the topic here, title here, and then the best thing for you to do is to compose your work in some other word processor, because Blackboard is a horrible word processor. It does have a spell check, but it's not the greatest one. So ideally, do it in something else and then just cut and paste it here. And then the submit is way over on the side that is off the screen. Let me show you. Let me move it over to show you. So submit's over down here. And then you hit the submit button. So that is part A. When part B comes along, you should have, once you open the group, you should have a project here, and then you reply to it. It's a little hard to do it when you don't have one. But if need be, I'll update it later once there is some project. Oh, I can't do that because your names will be there. So let me show you. So for part A, for initial, you place topic, title here, and then you are going to write and research and rate. Then at the bottom, you are going to add your references. And this needs to be in APA format. Often when you look at your information, it has it there. If not, there's that link on library support, which shows you about APA format. And some research will actually show you on the side how to put it into APA format. Usually APA format is author, bracket, initial, period, and then year, close it, and then title, and then location of it. Okay, but it will be broken down. Then once you're done, you hit the submit button over to the side. Okay, so that's how you do part A. When it comes to doing part B, you're going to go over to the side where it says discussion group. You click on there, then you will see in your discussion group. So here is the topic I placed in. You will open it, take time to read what your other group people have done, and then you hit reply, and then you will add more. Just a second, my computer's getting full, so it moves slow. So add more material here to support or refute the topic, and find an article, or even TED Talks are good too on this, and then you will add it. Okay, and again, add your reference. Good. And that is the end of part B, and that will reply to it. Okay, and that then part C, once you've got the replies from other students, you will look and sort of answer them back in your discussion. And all of this, there is a rubric that assigns it. So Let me go down to the rubric and break it in when we look at the assignment here. So scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. My computer's moving very slow today. It really needs to be cleaned. Okay, it took me a bit to scroll. So here is the outline of the submission. Then your rubric. So overall, this is 20% of your overall grade. So this is a large percentage, and it will have the, it has part A, B, and C to it. So the original part is worth 5 points out of 19. I'm looking for informative, I want summary, and I want you to look at something science-based and evaluate the source. Is it a good source? What does it say? Then you will reply to 2 others in part B, and that is worth 3 points each. So since you're applying to 2 students, that is 6 points. And in the reply, I want you to either add new research to the discussion and build on their ideas and increase their knowledge. Then the third part is a personal reflection where you reply to the replies. And you will discuss that. Then you will get 2 parts for having it grammatically correct and having good flow and correct APA. So APA format is a way to reference your information. And if you go here to the library support link, it will tell you about APA format. So it is just a way of looking at it. So APA format, when you're formatting references, right over here, formats reference list. And when you format your reference list, you should only have 1 or 2, but there is a hanging indent, it's alphabetized, and there is all these bits to it. And if you look at it, here is a sample. Okay, so to look at a sample, I just clicked on one of these professional papers. As I say, my computer's running slow. And here is what the reference list looks like. You will choose your author. Notice it's last name, initial, initial. If you are using more than one author, you use the and sign, which is called the ampersand. Then you have the year in brackets, the name of it, and then where you found it. And there's something called a DIO if you found it, or you can just copy and paste your link, whichever works here. But this is an example. Even if you made an attempt and you're close, you'll get the mark here, but you need to at least attempt APA there. So that is the description for the reference. Hopefully that will help you and give you some ideas. Now let's look at the topic list. Okay, so when I open the topic list, here are some current events in healthcare. You may choose others. These are just ones I thought of. Some of them are based on COVID because a lot of interesting science came out of COVID. So we talk about why it's called COVID, why was it a pandemic, concerns about comparing data. So there's a lot of COVID stuff here, but if you look down below, why are masks important? And then the latest topic is your gut brain and your gut biome, and find research that talks about your gut and the bacteria in it. We talked about the Alberta fires, which was a big thing last year, but they're starting to come up already. Hand washing, tests, vaccines, the measles are coming back because people aren't vaccinating. So you may want to look at that. You may want to look at hand dryers, anything else on social media that may come health-wise. You're welcome to research. And as I said, one of the best ways to look at it is to do Google Scholar. Okay, so as I said, Google Scholar is a good place to get research information. So if you go to Google Scholar, and let's put measles vaccine in here because the measles outbreak is coming. Or you may want to tell us something about the measles virus. Now, here is something about the measles vaccine. Some of this can be, it's university level, so it might be a little harder for you to read, but often you just read the introduction and make the best sense you can out of it, because most of you are intelligent enough to get out of the abstract. So here is an introduction with the abstract. And interesting up here, it's got permission and citation. So if you look at the citation here, it will actually tell you how to download the citation. So if you want it in format, is BibTeX is a good one to use. And then it will put it, oh, so here's all the information you need here. So the last name, you'd put Griffin, and then DE would be the initial. The year is 2018. And then you would put the title and then the information here. And that is that. So that is actually a lot of information. Hopefully